Okay, back to wrap up part 3. Wait, no, part 4. I lost count, sorry. Of the wolf pack, alpha male, alpha female, and how it relates to healthy relationships, toxic people, controlling, manipulative, aggressive, and unhealthy people. So it applies to us. And so what I was wrapping up with in the previous video is just the National Geographic, I'm almost said, the Reader's Digest article that had the headline article. And I wanted to add one more little note that they wrapped the article up with that is just to wrap your head around this concept, okay? If humans, as they said in the article, and wolves are the closest animals, so to speak, that are behaviorally alike, then wrap your head around this. In these two biologists, 20 years of study of wolf behavior and pack alignment and arrangement and behavior, they have rarely seen the alpha act or behave aggressively towards any member of the pack. How cool is that? That is what is super ironic about my situation and what I went through with my narcissist in 2014 through 2019. I used to think she was just crazy because I knew nothing about narcissism at the time. I'm so grateful that I've become so educated, because now going into my next exposure, which I think I'll sniff out a narcissist a lot sooner now, I'll be able to peg them in no time. It's so funny how they truly believe they are the alpha, and they have others believing that they're the alpha. In video 1, I mentioned how one of my executives called me and my narcissist alpha females, and that was one of the first times I'd ever heard that phrase, and I thought, I don't really know what that means, but I Googled it later, and I kind of was like, I don't really see how this narcissist could be called an alpha female, but she had him deceived successfully, because her life was a disaster. Her personal life, I mean, she met the bottom line at work, and I think maybe that's why he thought she was an alpha female, because she did everything she possibly could to look good to the executives. And she did well for them. But they are so foolish for believing in her, and they will probably someday, sadly, regret the way they've decided to prioritize things in the company, sadly. But anyway, moving on to the second thing I was going to talk about pertaining to wolves, pack arrangement, and wolf behavior, and how it relates to human behavior and relationships, was this other resource, this video I found about pack arrangement, which I thought was very cool. Oh, shoot. I am so sorry. Before I get to that, there was a couple other things. Sorry. I'm not going to get to that quite yet. There was a couple other things about the Reader's Digest article. They mentioned this one wolf that they studied for a long period of time, and they named him Super Wolf. And it's kind of cool to read about this, because they said that this wolf was a fierce protector of his pack and family. But his favorite thing to do was to play with the pups, the wolf pups, and to wrestle with them and to pretend to lose. So even an alpha male wolf understands humility. Imagine that. A narcissist hasn't the first clue what humility is. They won't get on the floor and be with they'll do it for the attention and for the accolades that'll get them. especially a communal narcissist, like my narcissist was. Oh, she volunteered for this. She was the head of this. She's the president of this, that, and the other thing. And she loved to talk about all of what she does for the community. Um, and that is different than what humility is. True humility means you're willing to be on the bottom for however long it takes without any sort of recognition or reward, just because you're genuinely trying to help people. So that was cute that they had this wolf that they absolutely loved, that they had studied for years, and they called him Super Wolf. And his favorite thing to do was get on the ground and play with the pups and wrestle with the pups and pretend to let them win. Even a wolf understands humility. An alpha male wolf at that. The super wolf, if you can imagine, this is where it's so funny, is the super wolf derived great joy from letting the pups, letting others get the glory. That's the difference. He got fulfillment. There's nothing wrong with feeling good after you help someone else out. But but if you feel disappointed because you didn't get recognition after helping someone, then that's not true humility. You didn't do it for them. And I remember a time, I'll get into that whole story another time, where I was accused of doing something good for someone else. And I was so offended by that accusation because I genuinely was doing it for the people, that it took me like a long time to even realize that that's what, like, it was such a false. But here's the thing. Narcissists will accuse you of doing what they are actually doing, and they know they're doing. They want to accuse you because that way, if they accuse you first, you can't accuse them, because then you just look like you're copying them and you're being childish. No. They know exactly what they're doing. So they're going to accuse you. And I never saw this coming, and it happened to me in so many different ways. I'll explain all of that. But they will accuse you of doing what they are doing to you, right? So if you're being accused of something and you're like thinking to yourself, do I really do that? No, trust me. If you're in a situation where you're being accused of something and you're really genuinely confused because you're like, I don't think I do that. Trust me, it's your narcissist doing it, and they're trying to get out ahead of the horse to accuse you before you have the chance to call them on the carpet. That's all they're trying to do. So they said the phrase, strength impresses us, people in general. And it does, I think, Popeye the Sailor Man, right? But kindness is what we remember. That's what they say. And I add to that, kindness is what we remember, perhaps because it's what most positively influences us. So we can be impressed by a lot of things, but what positively impacts us is kindness, the most deeply anyway. That's what sticks with us. That's what we remember. So I'm going to break there since I'm almost at 9 minutes. Join me for part 5. Thanks, guys.